So I'm in the operating room, right? And so I'm with my sister. They ask you like all these questions and stuff, like, like medical questions to make sure you're good to go with the procedure. And she said the nurse, I don't really remember. I remember this vaguely. My sister, she said then like one of the questions like, oh, do you have any metal in your body? And she said I just looked dead ass at whoever asked the question. I was like, yeah, in my dick. And she just said the whole room started laughing. But yeah, I was like, yeah, that sounds like me. Literally not knowing if I'm gonna live or die, having a life-saving surgery. Yeah, in my dick. That is.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Slightly Off Plan podcast. My name is Jillian, and today my friend Casey joins me as we bond over our mutual hatred of dating apps, talk about his life-changing accident that happened 11 years ago, and have fun quoting iconic 2000s movies. This is a fun one. Let's get into it.
Hello.
Hello.
Barbara Walters here, coming in from CNN 2020.
Casey.
Hello, Jillian.
Hello, Casey.
How's it doing? I'm just living the dream.
You just came from a haircut. You got the fresh cut.
Fresh cut. Cut the locks off. First time in like a year and a half.
How long was your hair?
I mean, it was pretty long, but I used to comb it over so you couldn't really tell that it was that long. But it was, it had some height.
Have you ever had a man bun?
I wouldn't say a man bun, but I had like a little sprout in the back. I don't know if you call it like a man turnip kind of thing.
Why do I feel like I remember that? Why do I feel like I remember like a stupid little thing coming out of your head?
Yep. It kind of looked like one of those, like, not to talk about your Asian people, but like like one of those like sumo wrestler things that they had, the little top bun thing. They kind of look like that.
Filipino.
I mean, it's all it's all the same region, I guess.
Casey, we just started. You're already getting us canceled.
I know. We'll just cut that out. That's fine.
No, I'm keeping it in. Casey, let's start with how we know each other. Because now I've known you for 18 years, I guess.
Yeah, give or take. Yep.
Fucking hell. Yeah, so we've known each other since we were 17.
Freshman year of college.
Yeah.
Living the dream in the dorms, Hollis.
So were you remind me, were you in the dorm with Chem and everyone?
Absolutely not. Not with those dirty motherfuckers. No way. That was probably the dirtiest room I've ever went to in college. They were not clean folks, let me just tell you that. No, I lived down the hall in the corner with Isan and Paul.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now that I think about it, I've now interviewed two people from that era.
You interviewed one person who was in the room, and now you got somebody who was down the hall. So
yeah, okay. So it was Kem, Mariano, and Pete in that room.
Ugh. Gross, those guys, man. I mean, it was freshman year. It was their first time away from home. I get it.
Well, yeah,
we all were young.
I didn't have that experience. Like I lived around the corner. My parents' house is around the corner.
Yeah.
So I didn't. That was your first time like moving out and like all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. First time ever. Being away I never did any overnight camps or anything like that.
Yeah, no, same. I mean, I wasn't allowed out of my house, so.
No, I mean, I used to sleep over at my boys' house and stuff like that, like my friends and stuff, but never like weeks or months and living on your own and having to do your own laundry and crap. It was just, fuck. It was rough. It was such a change when you go from high school to college. Like, it's just like a shell shock in the beginning.
Yeah, I can imagine. I went to college. I went to high school 10 minutes away from my house, and then I went to college 10 minutes away from my house. So
I mean, really pushing the boundaries there, Jill.
I know. I'm an exciting girl.
Live wild life.
But honestly, that's part of the reason why I decided to move to London is because up until I moved to London, I had never lived outside of Queens before.
I mean, talk about a fucking change.
So for a long time, the reason why I didn't feel the need to move out of Queens is because like I was out of the country so often.
You got to
But then
experience stuff.
yeah, but then when I hit like 30, 31, I was like, actually, I should probably like live somewhere else. And so that was my early 30s crisis, was moving here.
Fancy.
I know. My second 30s crisis is starting a podcast.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a very, very popular thing people do now. With everybody has a podcast. Like I feel like it's great because it gives everybody a chance just to kind of express themselves and, you know, connect with people who they probably would never even cross paths with. So,
I mean, not for nothing, like, you know, obviously we follow each other on the socials, probably on Facebook, Instagram for
Facebook,
sure.
Grindr, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, we'll talk about the apps. Don't you worry, Casey.
Okay.
But yeah, like, not for nothing, we probably wouldn't have jumped on a call if it wasn't for the podcast, or maybe we would have. I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows?
I mean, I feel like we always chat every here and there, and then it was just like, you know, you saw I did a podcast, you started a podcast, and you're like, all right, I want to marry Casey. I mean, I want to FaceTime Casey, and then it was just, all right, cool, we'll do it.
You're just trying to get my British citizenship. That's all anyone wants from me.
I just want the double passport.
Everyone just wants to, yeah, just. So I think this is a great time to talk about your podcast, Sitting Tall.
That's what we do.
Fun fact. When I was doing research, I was like, okay, let me watch an episode or two of your podcast. And I typed in standing tall.
Yeah, and it's not it.
I know.
That's not what we do. We don't. It's not it. We sit real nice and tall, you know. We put our chest out.
I'm now realizing what a fucking dumb thing that was.
Yeah, I mean, it probably wasn't your brightest moment that we've had in our lifetimes, but you know.
I was like standing tall.
It's like, wait, where's Casey? I can't find him. Yeah, it's probably because he's sitting in the back corner of the room.
Yeah, nothing came up. When I typed in standing tall Casey, nothing came up. And then I was like, oh.
I hope not.
So Sitting Tall is your podcast. I'll let you jump into it.
Yeah, I mean, it just it was after around the pandemic started, and you know, I just felt like I always wanted to kind of talk about my situation, and I didn't really know how to go about it. And then I was like, you know, I was like, I'm just going to start a podcast, and then I was going to do it. And then a buddy of mine wanted to do the same kind of thing, and I figured it might be a little easier and a little less nerve-wracking to do it with a partner, because especially in like this situation, like, you know, you're vulnerable, like, because like, I don't know, you can't really tell from the video right now, but I am a quadriplegic. I broke my neck like 11 years ago, so you know, obviously in the podcast right now, it's just like, oh man, look at that cute guy just hanging out. And then it's just like, let me back up a little bit. And it's like, whoop, those are the wheels, baby. And yeah, no, it's just something we wanted to do. And we interview people from, you know, all walks of life. We just kind of wanted to promote inclusion and kind of just show that, like, you know, just because you might have an injury or in a wheelchair, that you still can live a nice, happy, productive life, or even just things doing in the community. We have able-bodied people on the show as well, just because, you know, we don't want to discriminate. We want to just, you know, we're everybody. We like, people love people. We love everybody. ELE. Everybody love everybody.
Everybody loves everybody. That's best. Awesome.
One of his best. Yeah, it's pretty cool so far.
Say again?
I said it's pretty cool so far.
Yeah, you've been doing it for like a year now, or
yeah, like almost 2.
Almost 2 years. Yeah, that's awesome. So let's, I guess, back up to 2013. June 1st, that fateful day.
That lovely, lovely day.
Yeah.
It's like I always call it like D-Day. When people, I'm like, it's a day that will live in infamy. Let me just tell you that.
I remember you were telling me that you don't remember the like what happened, or
oh no. I was awake. I remember pretty much all of it. Like in the very beginning, it kind of like it was hard to remember just because I guess it was so close to happening. But as time went on, you kind of start to remember things, and your brain starts to put things together. And yeah, no, I was just regular day. It was a real hot day. Like June 1st usually is like, it's usually summertime ish, but it was like 90 something degrees that day. So the beach was packed, and nobody was in the water though, just because the water was cold since it was like one of the first days. So I go down to me and my buddy. We go down to the water. We had a couple drinks. I smoked a little bit, like nothing out of the ordinary of where I would be like, sloshed. Like I'm not going swimming like that. But we went down to the edge of the water, and my buddy Dan, we just looked because the water, we touched our feet and we were like, oh shit, this is freezing. And nobody was in the water. So Dan was like, oh, I'll bet you $20 to dive in. And I was just like, dumbass. I was like, I'm going in the water anyway. Like, if I'm going to the beach, I'm going to go in the water at least one time. Yeah. So I just went, and I went to dive into like where the waves crash, like just kind of like what people do. And I don't know, maybe it was a sandbar, or maybe I just didn't dive right. Because I'll never, I always try to figure out, like, but I'll never be able to know. And then so my head hits the sand on the dive, and I heard like a little, and then I was like, oh, maybe I just might have tweaked something, and then like my whole body kind of shut off, and I'm just sitting there floating. I'm just like, okay. I'm like, all right, things are gonna come back. I was like, playing sports, you get a thing called like a stinger where you get hit, and like kind of some things go numb for a second. And so I was like, all right, let me just wait it out. And I waited, and then I kept waiting. I was like, oh, okay, this is not, I'm like, I didn't know where I was. I didn't know if I was underwater. I didn't know if people could see me. So then, like the lifeguards came, and then there was like off-duty EMTs. So it was just like a whole spiel. And then like, at the beach, if something happens, like a big crowd usually starts to form like a circle. Yeah. So I'm just like, I felt like I was in like a high school fight, and like there was like a circle forming out, and I was just like, oh crap. So they had me on like the board, and I'm just like, I remember looking at this one guy, and I was just like, get me the fuck out of here. Yeah. And then like, they bring you up, and then I kind of blacked out. Next thing I know, I wake up in a helicopter, and there's like the guy with the helmet on.
They choppered you out?
Oh, I bring on the chopper. Yeah, I was airlifted out. I was chill. When you break your neck that high, it's not like you're not guaranteed to live. It's like I could have died like so many times. So they I'm in the helicopter, and then like I thought I was trying to ask the guy. I was like, what's going on? And I don't know, maybe nothing was coming out of my mouth, or maybe he couldn't hear me, but he didn't answer, and I took that as a motherfucker was rude as hell. I'm trying to ask him what's going on, and
motherfucker ain't talking to me back.
Like, damn, bro, like, am I okay? Like, what's going on? And so I get to the hospital. They have to like, they get this surgeon from like the city. He comes in like, I was there for like 8 hours, but before one funny thing about. I was in the hospital, and like, me and my personality, like, so they put you on a little bit of the drug, like, the little painkiller stuff. And I just remember my sister, I was supposed to have sex tonight. And I was just walking around. It was stupid. And then I was in the operating room, right?
That is such a Casey thing.
That's a case. You want to hear? You think that's a Casey thing? Wait till you hear this. So I'm in the operating room, right? They bring you in. And so I'm with my sister, and they ask you like all these questions and stuff, like, like medical questions to make sure you're good to go with the procedure. And she said, the nurse, I don't really remember. I remember this vaguely. My sister, she said, then like one of the questions, like, oh, do you have any metal in your body? And she said, I just looked dead ass at whoever asked the question. I was like, yeah, in my dick. And she just said the whole room started laughing, and like they all had to leave because they couldn't. They have to be professional. But yeah, I was like, yeah, that sounds like me. Literally not knowing if I'm gonna live or die, having a life-saving surgery. Yeah, in my dick. That is a me thing, Jill.
That is
Yep.
fucking incredible.
Yeah, I know. That's pretty much like that's my life in a nutshell. That's just me.
Did you get the $20?
No, that motherfucker. He still hasn't paid me. We joke about it sometimes, and he lives in Florida now. Daniel. He knows. He knows. You know why. Someone's just gonna open the door and hit you right in the junk, and they're just gonna go. You know why. That's it.
Casey, I got you. Give me a little bit more information.
I'll give you the deets. Give you the deets.
Yeah. No, I got you. That's fucked up.
Imagine $20 interest, inflation.
I was probably like
probably at least, with the Joe Biden era, it's probably at least $25. At least. Boop, 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 boop.
Dude, that's fucking crazy.
Crazy.
I'm sure you've heard this before, but you've just had such an awesome attitude about, like, I mean, as best as you can in this kind of situation. Like, I know, I guess your kind of thing is like never out of the fight, which is awesome. It's so inspirational. I know we haven't spoken too much over the years, but like I've obviously been following you on Instagram and following your journey and just kind of rooting for you from afar. There's been so many times where I've just been like, Casey's just Casey, like your same like charming ass, like, like there's metal in my dick, like Casey, no matter what is happening.
I feel like that's something that I never really like. You just I mean, I feel like my personality never really left, which I'm thankful for. Like I'm still me, like mentally. So it's just like, I feel like I'm doing anything that anybody would do. Like I feel like you never really know what you can handle until it's like thrown upon you.
Yeah.
Like it's still like surreal. Like sometimes I forget like that this is like real life. Like sometimes I don't even think like I think I was born like this kind of thing. Like I don't even remember past days. And then sometimes I'm just like, man, this has been a fucking long time. It's like, so it really kind of varies. Like it depends on, I guess, the way I wake up in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's been, 11 years now?
11 years and 4 months? 3 months?
This is not the same at all. But I'm only going to say this because when we were talking about Slightly Off Plan, you were like, yeah, you moved to London. I'm in a wheelchair, like same old.
Same.
Same.
Same, but different.
Sometimes I feel, this is stupid. I'm just going to say it, whatever. Sometimes I have those moments of like, I'll be like, oh, this is my life. Just because I didn't think that this would be my life, and not in a particularly bad way, but I just didn't think this far ahead when I was 17, 18. Like at no point was I like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be like single and fucking broke in London.
Well, I mean, we all have a plan, right? That we think in our heads that we would like our life to turn out, or we think that this is what it's supposed to be. It's like, college, marriage, kids, house, all that, like the routine. Like we think that that's what it's supposed to be because that's kind of how it was generations in the past. But the world's very different now, and it's just people stay at home a lot longer, and it's just it's a crazy world we live in.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Fucking A.
Fucking A.
Fucking A, Cotton. That's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it works out for him.
This is the thing with you, like, and because we caught up the other day just to like kind of talk about the pod or whatever. Even though I haven't spoken to you, it feels like no time has passed.
Yeah, I agree. We said that the other day. I feel like that's when you just kind of know when people are your friends. Like,
Yeah.
it's like you don't really need to talk all the time.
Yeah.
Like you don't, like I have a few relationships like that, which I'm grateful for. It's crazy how you can just pick up and chat like it was 2005. Like.
I mean, we're literally quoting the same exact movies that we watched at the time.
My life, my vocabulary is movie quotes. That's basically like I speak. That's my love language. It's sarcasm and movie quotes. So it's just.
Have you ever seen that meme that's like, before memes, we all used to just sit in a circle and quote Anchorman at each other?
I mean, it's true. I mean, we were quoting Anchorman when we were warming up for the show. Like, it's just.
How now, brown cow.
It's like the Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
Unique
just
New York.
You got to work out the jaw,
Unique New York.
There you go. Look at you.
I genuinely, like, before my improv shows and stuff, I'm on stage, like, doing Unique New York, and, like, no one knows the movies, so I'm doing it, and everyone's just like, oh, that's a great warm-up exercise, and I'm like, no! I mean, it is, but I'm quoting a movie.
You don't get it.
You don't know Ron Burgundy?
Fucking London.
He's a freaking legend. He plays the jazz flute.
It's a jazz flute. Want to hear Ron Burgundy play the jazz flute? I'm totally not prepared for this. Oh wait, that's baby making music right there.
Okay, I'm gonna start off with another stupid question.
There are no stupid questions.
Are you technically considered quadriplegic because now you have use in your arms, which you didn't immediately have?
No, when I first got hurt, I couldn't move, talk, breathe. I have, like, if you can see on my neck here,
yeah,
I had a trach, so I had a breathing tube in for about 3-4 months, and when that was in, I couldn't talk, so I like communicated with clicks. Like, so I was like if I needed something, that was the only way I was able to kind of get people's attention.
Oh.
And so no, even at that point, you're considered a quadriplegic, even if you can't move anything. It's basically if I was able to use my fingers and hands, then I would be considered a paraplegic, basically. It all depends on like your injury level, like because I broke my cervical vertebrae, and then you could break the in your back, and then your lower, like your sacrum. There's all different levels to it. Yeah, so quadriplegic.
Quadriplegic.
The quad father.
And remind me what you call this again?
Oh, it's my neck belly button.
Okay.
They got it's only because it got a little hair there, so I just figured it looks kind of just like a belly button.
It does look like a belly button. It does look like your neck belly button. So right after your accident, you couldn't talk, you couldn't do anything, neck down,
move nothing.
And one of the cool things about you was you were just like, no, I'm a fucking hustler. I'm just
like, something's got to move. It's like something's got to give one of these days.
And so how did that start? Like,
honestly, man, they told my family that I was going to be on like a breathing tube the rest of my life, and like, I need full assistance, which I do need care, obviously, but I am able to do some things for myself. But it was one day I was in the room, like my dad, one of my boys, I think my sister. We were just talking, just talking shit like we normally do, like, just having a good day. And then like my dad said something, and I was just like, I went to pretend like I'll smack you, like, just trying to be silly. And all of a sudden my arm just went like I was like, I'll smack you. My arm was like, I was like, what the fuck was that? And then I was able to just kind of move my arm, and it was,
wait, that's so great. Fucking dope.
Yeah, it was so strange. So strange.
That's like the superhero origin story where like Spider-Man's just like, what? And then he's like on the ceiling.
Yeah, sort of. But then, Spider-Man got all these cool powers and shit. I just got like a fucking flailing arm.
Okay. All right. Hey,
It's not the coolest thing in the world, but we work, you know?
We're working with it, okay? We're working with it.
Yeah. And then that was like August. So I got hurt in June. So like 2 months, 2-3 months, I came back. And then my right arm started to move in like December.
Dude, that's dope. Okay. And then so when that happened, I mean, were you like, oh, and then I'm just going to kick you?
Well, yeah. Well, you know, obviously, I started thinking of all these things. I was just like, oh, I was like, not okay, cool. Next, try something else. You know, I can feel my legs, but it's just like they're just like, you know, they're resting. I like to say,
yeah.
They're just.
You were saying that you can feel stuff, like you can feel pressure. You can't feel temperature.
Nips up.
Nips up.
Everything's normal. Nips down is where everything I could feel my whole body, but I just can't feel pain or temperature. So sort of like a superpower, I guess, because I can't feel pain, but also dangerous because if something painful happens, I kind of need to know.
Yeah.
It's a little.
So like when you feel pressure, do you just like look to make sure that you're not like bleeding?
Yeah, I just feel like I'm like what's like if something was to actually like hurt my body, there's a thing, it's called autonomic dysreflexia, where my body, like my blood pressure shoots up really, really high, and like I get like a really pounding headache. So I know like, hey, something's not right. That's like, I guess that's the body's way of, you know, letting you know like, hey, you got to take care of something. Because
is that not the same as the spidey sense?
I mean, sort of. But I don't know if the spidey sense hurts and feels like your head's gonna fucking explode.
Okay, listen, hey, I'm just trying to equate you to a superhero, Casey. Let me just do it.
Blood pressure goes to like 250, and it's like head feels like you're gonna explode. But yeah, no, superpower, that's fine.
Maybe it's a superpower from The Boys as opposed to a superpower from Marvel.
Yeah, this is a bad superpower.
So nipples up.
Nips
arms start. Your nips up. And when you say nips up, you mean like your shoulders, so you can like move your shoulders.
Yeah, I can move my shoulders. I can move my biceps, and that's about it.
How many arm curls can you do?
Oh, you know, I could do over 1,000. You know.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard me, but
I did.
You know, it's like the uvula connects to the upper dorsimus.
When I first signed into this call, you were like 1,001.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't see you there. Casey, you called me to your office. No, I could curl probably up to like maybe like 10, 12 pounds on my left. On my right, maybe like 2.
That's awesome. And that's something you've been working with, right? Like,
yeah, no, I try to do that weekly.
One thing that you post a lot on your stories or just like on your page, is like you like moving the cups. So is that like
little cone stuff?
Yeah.
It's because it's not, I can't really use my hands. They don't grip anything, but like I can kind of use them to kind of move things. It's more of like a exercise on sitting balance while doing stuff while sitting. And it's just kind of like a good arm workout too. So it incorporates. We try to work out whatever I have. We try to work out.
And have you like gained any, like you've obviously gained strength in like your shoulders, I'm assuming.
Yeah. I mean, wherever I can gain strength, I gain strength as much as I can. But you know, the muscles are only innervated so much. Like there's only so many, like my pathways like from my brain aren't really getting down to where they need to go. Like that's what the spinal cord damage did. But I thought when you break your neck, you die, to be honest with you. Like I saw all these movies, they break people's necks, they're dead. Like they don't come back to life. Like, you know, like am I a zombie? Like, is that what it is?
Kind of feels like you're a superhero.
Sort of. So we'll take superhero.
Again, veer me off if you don't want to talk about this, but you brought it up. So on the realm of you feeling things, nibbles down.
Talk to me, Jill. Talk to me.
I remember one of the.
What do you want to know?
one of the first things that you posted after your accident was a meme of the wheelchair and an extra little drawing.
What was the drawing, Jill? What was the drawing supposed to be? I don't know.
And the caption said, "It still works."
Oh, so that's what that thing was. Okay. Just wanted to clarify what thing we were talking about. I don't know if you were talking about like a wheel or, you were talking
arm.
You were talking about the kickstand. I get it. You were talking about my kickstand. Totally understandable. But yes, it still works, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? Honestly, he's a fighter. He never gave up. He's never out of the fight, as Jill liked to say before. It was a long, hard road, but he made it. He made it through. I remember one of the first days I was hurt. I was out of it. A lot of drugs. My body's in shock. So like one of the nurses gave me a bath or whatever, and she came out the room and she just went to my dad and she goes, "Don't worry, Mr. Ellen, everything's okay." Like everything's gonna be like everything it still works out. And I was just like, okay. I was like, what kind of fucking bath did I get? Like what? Like they give it what kind of baths at the hospital? Like I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, you've had
sexual relations with that woman. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna go into just like general dating stuff, but yeah, we can talk about that too.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've dated a little bit here and there.
I remember, like, I guess your first girlfriend after your accident, because you were like posting like on Instagram and stuff. And I remember my first thought, I was like, of course, Casey is still so suave and so charming that he is like a month out of this like horrific accident, and he's still like, hey.
Well, I mean, it took a little bit. It was maybe about a year and a half. About a year and a half. Like give me a month out of it. I was no fucking way. But this girl I met, we dated for like 6 months. It was a good relationship, and it just kind of ended. I mean, it is what it is. I guess she wasn't really into the so it's not for everybody. This is it's a hard. Like obviously, jokes aside, like it's a lot. Like so, I totally understand when it comes to relationships. It's gonna take a special woman to to
Do you have something in your eye?
Sorry. No. I think we're okay. Yeah, and then I had a girlfriend for about 5 years, and that was I have nothing bad to say about that relationship. It was great for the time that it lasted, and we kind of just grew apart, and it just sometimes that happens, and it is what it is.
Yeah,
and here we are.
I mean, it sounds like a regular, normal, dating life of the late 20s,
it's just
early 30s.
It's hard. I mean, it's hard though. Like I met one of them at like a spinal cord program, and then I met the other one at the spinal cord gym. So it's like it's hard to meet females in this world, just because like obviously somebody, especially on these fucking dating websites, don't even fuck those things. That's terrible. Those are terrible when you're not in a wheelchair and you just add a wheelchair to the mix. It's just fucking get the fuck out of here,
dude. So when we caught up the other day and you were just like, I fucking hate Hinge, I was like,
oh, I hate them all.
I hate Hinge.
Hinge, Bumble, go fuck yourselves.
I can't stand it. Like, I'm struggling on there, and
I know it's tough out there in the streets for everybody. Which I don't understand how you're struggling, Jill. Because come on,
it's tough out there in these streets.
Maybe are you being a little too picky?
I don't think so. I think so
because because Jill, like you probably have some suitors just dropping little roses off and little letters and
this is
whispering
what
sweet
happens.
nothings, dick pics getting thrown into your DMs all the time.
This is what happens in my Hinge. Because I get this a lot. People are like, surely someone's hitting on you. And I'm like, yes, but it's never like eligible suitors.
It's never who I want.
It's never like a normal guy, like in my age range that like has a nice job and like is fun or whatever.
He's looking for a throuple. Like he's looking for a third to add to his couple.
Yeah, like it's always something weird. Like it's always like, I don't know, like a guy with like a blurry picture that has like clearly never used a camera before. And like I gotta show you. Actually, I probably still have the picture somewhere. This guy on, I can't remember if it was Hinge or Bumble. It was like a mirror selfie. So it was like him like taking a picture like this. And in his profile, there were 7 pictures of the same exact pose in completely different outfits. That was his profile.
So you didn't date him?
But it's like, it's shit like that. Like, I don't have like a normal millennial guy from like Rhode Island. I don't know why I picked Rhode Island. But like, I don't, it's never like a normal guy that just like shops at the Gap. I don't know, like something.
Who shops at the Gap?
I don't know. I just want something normal, not
just
someone
want somebody normal. I want you to want to do the dishes.
It's hard out there in these streets.
It is. It's a scary world out there.
So what are the apps situation like for you? Because when you so like back in 2013, was that Tinder era? I can't remember.
Honestly, I when I was single before I got hurt, like I didn't even know a dating apps. Maybe they just came out like right around the time I got hurt.
Yeah, I think they were like just starting.
So I kind of missed that Tinder range, and like Tinder is just full of just nastiness. And then Bumble, I hate Bumble because it's like, oh, somebody matched with you. Oh yeah, fuck yeah, this girl, she's pretty. We like the same stuff. They never message, so it's like, don't fucking like me just to try to like give me like a pity like, oh yeah, this guy's cute for a guy. No, fuck you. Don't. If you gotta like me. Message me. If not, whatever.
If you're gonna be in this shit.
You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna ride with the Dipset, you know what I'm saying?
What does your profile look like?
I mean, it's just I don't hide the chair. I don't hide the chair. Like no, I mean, because they're gonna find out about it eventually. So it's just like, what's the point of just showing a picture of like my face? Because let's be real. If we show a picture of just my face, I'll do pretty well on these dating apps. I think I'll do a lot better than what I'm doing now.
I think you were batting 100, honestly.
Oh, yeah, cut it out, Jill. Stop talking dirty to me, Jill. Not in front of my friend. Not in front of my friends. All right. But yeah, no, I keep it regular, and I talk. I say, I just who I am, what I am. I don't hide it, and I even say in the profile, I'm like, listen, if you ain't, I don't even know what it's about, but if you're not with this, like, don't message me, or like, you know what I mean? Like, I make like a little joke about just rolling through life or whatever it may be, but like, if the dating, I feel like it's pretty normal. I don't really like to have pictures of me, like, I have a picture like doing like the podcast stuff, like, just little. I try to include pictures of what I do, and
the apps fucking suck.
Oh yeah, they're terrible. Dating fucking sucks.
Yeah, no, if it makes me feel better, they suck for me also. So it's not. Yeah. It's probably not even the chair at all, honestly.
I mean, does it make me feel better? No, but yeah, it's pretty fucking shitty.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking shitty. Rolling through life.
That's
if you were to have an entrance song, would it be "Rollin' by Limp Bizkit"?
No.
Okay.
No.
I was just.
It would probably be "Riding Dirty."
Oh, that's yeah. Okay. That's better.
Yeah, that's a little bit better. A little bit more.
Yeah, that is better.
Up a little bit more at my speed.
Yeah.
Yeah. They see me rolling. They hating. They're trying to catch me riding dirty.
right, yeah, let's talk hobbies, because hobbies are fun.
Hobbies are fun.
So, one thing that we have in common is we like marijuana.
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't smoke weed in college though.
I know you were a good girl.
I was, yeah. I don't know what my hang up was. Although, okay, wait. I didn't smoke weed in college.
Because drugs are bad. That's why.
Because drugs are bad and it's illegal.
Drugs are bad. Okay.
Drugs are bad. No, I remember I was friends. I had, like, because I had my own little crew and I hadn't smoked weed yet ever. And I remember there was one day where they were like, we're going to smoke weed because everyone smoked weed. I was like the only one who didn't smoke weed. Now I'm the biggest pothead, but like at the time I was just like, no, drugs are bad. And remind me if you were there this night, but basically my girlfriends were like, we're going to do the whole drug like cycle. Like we're going to drive to Washington Heights.
Nope.
We're going
to
No, you weren't there for this part.
Oh.
But, like
okay.
we're going to drive to Washington Heights. We're going to buy the weed, then we're going to go back to one of our girlfriend's house, like grind it, smoke, like, whatever. So I had heard that you don't get high the first time. And me being the overachiever that I am, I was like, fuck that. I am going to get high the first time. So they rolled 2 blunts, which like at the time I didn't know what a blunt was versus a joint versus like, I didn't know any of that stuff. I was such like an innocent loser. So they rolled 2 blunts and I basically took one whole blunt. I basically took that entire thing to the face because I was just like, I'm getting high. And then I got so freaking high that I hated it. And I remember being like, when does this end? But then at one point at one point, like, I think that everyone was just like bored of me. So we drove back to Queens. And then I think we went to Trads. I'm pretty sure we went to Trads. Do you remember Trads?
I remember Trads. Come on. Do I remember Trads? There was nothing like a drunk from being drunk at the Trads beer in the second floor. They put coke or something. They put some sort of drugs. Maybe Rufalin. I don't know. They put something in the kegs upstairs because that was an amazing beer. Let me tell you.
Dude, Trads was like, I was just talking to Kim about this on
such a
on
fucking shitty shit, ugly,
like
disgusting.
I hope that place is no longer operational.
I mean, I hope it is because I feel like the kids need it.
The kids need
it. The kids need. You need a place like that.
So we ended up going to Trads, and I remember Pops was there, and I'm pretty sure like Kem and Jay were there. I feel like you must have been there because like that was just like the crew.
Yeah, I might have been.
Yeah, but I went and like because I was dating Pops at the time, and I was just like, I don't like this. Like, and then I literally did not touch weed for 10 years because I hated it so much. Yeah, because I was just like, no, it's like it's not for me. I did not like what it did to me at all.
I mean, I wasn't really like I didn't really smoke that much. Like my first time I smoked when I was like 20. Like after my parents got divorced, like I was like, fuck it, let me do it, rah. And
I'm gonna do drugs.
Fuck you, mom and dad. I'm gonna smoke pot. And so I remember I was with my best friend and my sister, and he got sour diesel, which obviously if you smoke weed, that's some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So, I got real high. I don't know what people talk about. Like and then I was like, oh, this is nice. And then, I would do it rare. Like I wasn't really like I wouldn't say like right now I consider myself a pothead, but when I was in college, like I did it sporadically here and there, every once in a while. And then like once after my accident, it's, I didn't do any weed or anything like that because I couldn't smoke. My lungs weren't too strong. So I did edibles for a little while. And then once I felt like I get...
Sorry to cut you off. How was edibles the first time?
Oh my God. The first time, and I never even did edibles before. So this was my first time I did edibles. I did it on my 1 year anniversary. And I was just sitting in my back. We had a barbecue and a bunch, like, everybody came by, and I was just like sitting after I did the edible. I just sat like in the top, like on the deck, and it just was like watching everybody. Like I was just out of it.
What did that feel like? Because I know, like, when I'm high, especially when you're taking, especially edibles, like it's like a body
different.
high.
Mm-hmm.
How is it different?
I mean, it's kind of just like, I guess, how it is for you. The same thing. It didn't really feel any different than when before.
Mm-hmm.
But I like getting like a head high from smoking a little bit better. I feel like it's just a cooler. Like, it just feels better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that kind of just like, like I don't care what's going on right now. Fuck these legs.
Not fuck these legs.
Not my gumdrop buttons.
Drop buttons. Just you said something before that just made me want to ask this question. The homies, like the homies, because one thing that like one thing about getting older for sure is like your relationships with people change. You grow out of each other. Like,
yeah.
I was just talking to Kev about this. I asked him, I was like, "Are you friends with any of the people that you went to college with?" And he was like, "Not really." And with such a big life-changing thing, I'm sure that really changed your friend group and like how you saw the people in your life.
Well, I mean, you kind of get to know who are like the real ones, and you kind of get to know who are people who are just like, and there's levels of friendship. You got people who like stuff, that like your stuff on Instagram, like, they'll give you, like, say hi, shout, comments, like, they're friends from like a distance. And then there's friends who come around, and then there's friends who you talk to on the phone, like, so there's like levels, I feel, to it. And like, I feel like I still talk to a lot of people. Like, I still talk to like my childhood best friend, and I still talk to a couple guys who I played soccer with in high school, and I still talk to a couple. Like, I don't know. I feel like my accident might have kept me in contact with people more than as if I was not in my accident, because I feel like my accident kind of forced people. Not, I wouldn't say forced, but like, like when it happened, it was like, oh shit, let me check on Casey, or like, like, let me see how Casey's doing, kind of thing. So like, I still talk to a ton of people from St. John's. Like, I still have, yeah, I mean, still have one of my St. John's buddies was here last week, and we just was smoking some doobies and just hanging out.
That's awesome. So it sounds like people just really showed up for you.
Yeah, no, I've been very lucky. I have a pretty good support system that a lot of people don't necessarily have, and I think that's because I think that just goes, like, not to like sound like a cocky person, but I think it shows you how, like, what I meant to people, or like how I left like an impact on people. Because I always feel like, outside of like the jokes and the humor, like I feel like I was, I helped a lot of people out, especially when I was working at St. John's. Like, I got a lot of people jobs, and like, help people. I got people free masters, like, like, so like things like, I did a lot for people that I didn't probably have to do, like, I just did it because I love my friends. And I always try to look out for. I always felt like that was something. I always look out for people. Like it's. I don't know. I always feel like I'm concerned about what other people want or care about before I think of myself, which is a little annoying at this point in my life. But it's just like, come on, Casey, be a little fucking selfish here. But yeah.
No, that's really great. That's so nice to hear, because I imagine that having that support system, I mean, it can be genuinely make or break for people in your situation, like, having people show up for you.
Yeah.
Say again.
And it keeps you in good spirits.
Yeah.
And a lot of people I didn't even think that people would come around. Like, people came around in the hospital. I didn't even know. Like, I haven't seen them in years. And even like now, like, look at us. Like, we haven't talked in fucking 18 years or 15 years, whatever it may be. And we're still homies, It's just, I don't know. I feel like I just feel like everywhere I went in my life, like I feel like I just kind of have, and not to sound like, I don't even know how to say this without sounding like arrogant, but like it's just like I feel like I have a gravitational pull around me, like with my personality, just kind of brings people in. Like I feel like, because like I'm always smiling, like I'm always, like, even now, like you're never gonna catch me in like a bad mood, even if I'm in a bad mood. Like I talk to my therapist about that a lot, because like I laugh a lot. Like she says, like, I will go back, first one I had, it was like I laugh. I shouldn't laugh through my like painful situations. Like I try to, like, and I always try to make people feel comfortable, like around me. Like I shouldn't have to make somebody feel comfortable around me. Like you should never have to do that. But I always feel like I always want people to be happy and be like comfortable. Like I don't want anybody to feel weird around me. Like I try to let people know right away I'm still me. Like I don't bite unless you ask. Like it's just like, still the same guy. So I try to throw humor in with that and just try to like make people feel comfortable all the time.
Oh, that's awesome. Do you have any stories of someone like really showing up for you in a way that you were just like, oh man, like I got people in my corner?
I mean, there's tons of examples of things, but like, like just for example of this, like I have my run coming up this weekend. For me, it's probably this will come out after the episode. My run's on September 14th, so probably whenever this comes out. But like my buddy Quinn, he lives in California, flies out, and like, wasn't even prepared. The last one we did 2 years ago wasn't even like supposed to be like one of the ones that pushed me in the chair, but he ended up pushing me for like 7 miles out of the 10, and now he's coming back again, and he's flying out again. So it's like, it just makes me feel loved, when people come from all over just to like see you or like help you out, be a part of something. So it's like I'm very grateful for what I have. Like, obviously I get a little jealous when you see certain things, when people have certain things, like because it's usually just, with this accident, money is a huge thing, like because everything costs money. Everything's so expensive with the accident, like housing, vehicles. Like, so it's like when I see people who like, maybe might be a little bit more well off or fortunate, or have just like a better fundraising system. I don't know what you want to call it, but I feel like I make up for that with my friends and my family and like my relationships.
Man. And do you actually, yeah, let's, because I'd love to, even though this is coming after your fundraiser, I'd love to still link it.
Oh yeah, I can give you the link. I have like a little GoFundMe page set up, and I have like but I can even give you a video or a clip you can put in with the the episode if you want. And it's 10 miles basically. We're running in Jones Beach, and it's basically like symbolizing the helicopter ride that I got from Jones Beach to the hospital. So that's kind of the whole point. And it's during September, which is Spinal Cord Awareness Month. So we're checking a few boxes.
Yeah. That's dope. Yeah, I'll link that below. I've never done this. Click below.
Link in bio.
Link in bio if you want to donate to Casey Brave. That's what it's called, right?
It's basically all the money that I'm getting is basically trying to help me get my own place to live on my own, because it's very expensive to do that. So.
Oh, dope. Oh, awesome. That's so cool. And that's really cool. All right. Donate below. I don't know if I'm going to actually like do any, because I don't know how to do any of that, but I'm just saying it.
That's cool. Well, it's cool. They'll get it. The link will be below somewhere. It's fine. You'll find it.
Bio. There's a link. Donate to Casey.
Just Google Casey Brave. You'll be fine.
Casey Brave. Not standing tall.
Not standing tall, because we don't. Standing's overrated. So.
And I normally ask at the end of my podcast, because we got an hour in.
Yeah, we're good. We got a lot of good content here.
There's a lot of content here. I normally ask what advice would you give to yourself around the age where we met? So when we met, we were about 18.
18. Yep.
18, yeah. But I'm gonna do a two-parter, so we'll start with the first part.
Okay, I like it. Oh, okay.
Yeah. What advice would you give to yourself?
College Casey?
College Casey.
College Casey, I would probably be like, I don't know. Because I love all the experiences that I had in college. Like, because like everybody's like, oh, you shouldn't have a girlfriend when you're in college and stuff. But like, you know, like I was single in college for my freshman year, and then sophomore year, that's when I started dating Tara, and we dated for like 4 years, 4 years, and like I wouldn't want to like take that away, because I feel like that contributed to like my college experience, like with all, like, you used to go to all our soccer games and stuff, and then like all the friends that I made, like just from my job and like through campus rec and being an orientation leader and being an RA. I feel like I had a really good college experience. I feel like I had a much better college experience than most, like a more fuller experience because of everything that I did.
Yeah.
And you know, like just like with the friendships and the job, just experiences. But like some advice that I give my boy in 2013, come on, it's like, hey man, don't go to the beach that day, you know, just or it's just like, hey Case, why don't you just walk in the water? Why you gotta dive? You just walk right in, you know. There's many things.
Hey Casey, maybe you don't need the $20.
Oh well, no. Stop. We always need $20. We always need $20. I can always use a dub. Always use a dub. But yeah, no, it's just, I mean, I joke about it now. They always say, like, you know, I wouldn't have met a lot of the people that I've met since my accident if I would have never got hurt. So like I really do appreciate all those relationships, but obviously I wouldn't want to be fucking paralyzed. Like it's just comical when people say, "Oh, I wouldn't change a thing for the world." Okay, cool. But
okay,
you know,
okay, buddy.
Yeah, okay. So you don't want to pee and poop whenever you want? Okay, thank you. But yeah, no. So it's just I don't. Obviously, it's hard to tell with those things. You know, it's hard to.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I don't know where my life would even be at if I never would have. Would I be slightly off plan still? Like, would I be on the trajectory of life where we thought it would have been? You know, who knows?
Yeah. Who knows? If you could give advice to 2014 Casey, so after year after the accident, I imagine you have a million emotions in your head, and it changes day by day. I imagine. Is there something that you could go back and be like, hey buddy, like, here's something that you should know?
I'll probably just be like, hey man, like this is gonna be rough. It's gonna be a hard road. Like, it's not something you'd ever wish on anybody. Like, I wouldn't even wish this on people that I don't like. Like, it's tough. But I would just, tell them like, hey, everything's gonna be okay. Like, you're gonna be okay. Like, things are gonna happen, and it's gonna suck, but you're still yourself. Like, you still have your brain, because like I could have had a brain injury because I was underwater. I was underwater for a while. I could have water, like, oxygen to the brain. Lots of things could have happened, or even like I could even be a higher level injury, like where I couldn't move my arms, and like I still could be on the breathing tube. So like, I'm grateful for things that I have. So I would just like, listen, man, just try to enjoy the ride. Like, it's not gonna be the ride. It's not the ride that you wanted your life to be on, but it's still a ride nonetheless.
That's beautiful. Thank you for that.
Come on, Jill.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being on the podcast. It has been so fun to reconnect. Oh man, thank you so much.
No problem. Smoking a pancake?
Smoking a pancake?
Yeah.
Bong on a blip?
A pipe and a crack? Cigar and a waffle? I got come on, get out of here. Don't start me.
Get out of here.
You're messing with the wrong one when it comes to quotes, girl.